So they did add fishing into the game. I know a lot of people love fishing because they're just able to just like sit, chill, fish all day. They did say that this feature is more like a mini game and it doesn't have a, actual like purpose other than just like, hey, you can catch some fish. But they do want to implement something like where you're able to sell the fish, maybe earn a little extra money, different things like that. And then they also said that they sped up the speed at which you're able to swim, so you can now have a sprint swim. You just have to make sure that if you want to get out of the water, that it's a ledge that you can actually jump from, otherwise you're pretty much stuck. So we do have a camping feature, which not only serves as a purpose to regen our health, but you can sit down, chill, hang out with some buddies, especially if you're into role playing. You guys can really take that nice slice of life moment and just sit and chill. Honestly, it's a really nice feature, especially if you're just wanting to take a break from all of the questing and everything and just meet up with some friends. This one that they're showing us is right outside the starting city, and they will be spread out throughout the world. So again, if you're out and you don't have any potions, you can always visit one of these locations to grab a quick heal. Also, they showed off a little bit of the character customization. Now, this is an area where you can go to this in the city, where if you've already, of course, created your character and you want to make edits, it seems that you can make full changes where you can change from male to female, you can change your hair, you can change teeth, eyes, and everything after you've already created the character. You just need to use one of the tickets that they have for it, and you're able to pretty much just remake your character if you're wanting to. I think this is nice, definitely if you're just wanting to on the go just change your character, like especially again for those who are role playing, maybe you made your character specific for the Aegis fighter, now you're wanting to make a character that's specific for the Spellweaver, and you can actually save these customizations and use them. I just think it's nice, especially if you're just really all about the fashion and wanting your character to look as great and as best as you can. And with having the ability to customize your character, you can also customize your armor. Now, it doesn't seem like the colors are locked behind different palettes you have to earn, like in other MMOs I've played. It seems like you have full customization of your armor from the gloves to the top, the bottom, which is honestly really nice. Again, going with wanting to make sure that your character looks the best while using them, because we all know that the true end game is the fashion. So I better not catch any of you guys looking like a scrub. I need to see full detailed character customization with both not only the character but also the armor that you are wearing. Also, I had to throw this in there for the animal lovers. You are able to interact with the different animals that they have in the city. Not only do they have dogs, but they also have interesting other little creatures that you can interact with, play with. Honestly, hey, while you're questing, trying to save the world, come back to the city, pet the good boy, play with them for a little bit. It might make your day. Now, I did recognize that they were talking about the photo mode feature for quite a while, because this is honestly a feature that they spend a lot of time on. They have a lot of great features of being able to play your emote around. If you have your friends, you guys can all catch a photo. Now, of course, a lot of the features are locked while you're in combat. You can still use the photo mode for your skills and everything, but of course, you're in combat, so you can't do the full customization. But again, they implement this feature for those who are not all about min-maxing, not all about getting the best gear. Sometimes you just want to take some nice photos with your buddies. So again, I appreciate that they know that there are those like hardcore fans and then those who are just honestly casual and just love playing the game. So this here is the crafting feature, which seems like we're going to be crafting our gear all the way until in-game, because one of the in-game features that it has is where you're able to unlock slots depending on the success rate of your gear. You will use these enhancements called echoes, which will give you additional effects and extra properties to your weapon, which they said you'll be able to craft as well. So it seems that echoes are going to be very important for the type of gear that you get, to where you're able to customize what your weapon is able to do. Now, I'm hoping that they have a lot of extra effects on it, but they didn't go into full detail on this feature, so I don't have all of it. I'm not going to just make up a bunch of stuff, but it is nice to see that we're able to craft gear and customize what that gear can do. So for those of you who are wondering if they're going to add guilds, they did. It's a feature called Team. So you'll have your, usual like team leader, officers, and everything. But the size, it's kind of like mid-size. It starts off at 20, and then as your team levels up, you will get 5 per level from what they said. So of course, you're not going to have like 100, 200, 300 people. It seems like you might maybe get around to like 40, maybe 50 at the top level, if anything. So, and again, I will be making a team. So I'll discuss more of that, of how we will go about making the team. But of course, if you always want to play with most of us, or you just need someone to party up with, I always have my Discord, right? So if you can't necessarily get into the team, you will always have my Discord if you're just wanting to link up and play with me. And leading into the next feature right after the teams is the party system. Now, they honestly have a really great party system to where you are able to automatically join with other players within the vicinity who have the same quick party feature. You also can do a party list where you specifically want to create a party based off of people's like gear score and different parameters of what you're doing. So if you're looking for players who are more casual or those who are like min-max sweats, you can create a party for that. But again, you are able to use a quick party feature if you're just honestly struggling to find other people to play with. I know a lot of people are complaining about that in the CVT, that they couldn't find other players. So they added the quick party feature to where you're always able to meet up with some randoms, get some stuff done, which is another great feature for those who are unable to get into a team, or you just don't have access to a community, which again, I stress, join my Discord. You can get into community. That way you will always have somebody to play with. Now, this is the elements that they have in the game. So they have fire, ice, lightning, earth, light, and dark. Now, they spent a lot of time discussing this feature because this is how you're going to be able to maximize your damage in the activities, right? So these elements do stack, and they have different statuses that they apply. With fire, you have damage over time. With ice, you'll have slow. With thunder, they'll rarely move. So I'm guessing it's like some type of like kind of paralyzed feature. With earth, the enemy will take more damage. With light, the enemy will deal less damage. And with dark, the enemy will miss the target, so it'll lower their accuracy, right? Now, after a certain amount of time, those elemental stacks will end with a element burst finish, right? Where the element will do a additional piece of damage. And they said during this time, this is where you want to do as much damage as you can. So fire will basically be one of the biggest bursts, as in doing the most damage out of it. The thunder will end with paralyzation. They didn't give any information on dark, but they said that light will result in damage with an AoE heal. And they said that the dark will have a status called HP leak, which means that the attacks on enemy will become drain attacks. And again, like they said, this will be a way for the battles to be a little bit more dynamic. And it says that the elemental stacks depends on the times of the battle flow. So you'll have to be kind of careful and adjust your attacks based on the meter that they have over the monsters, right? So that's going to show you the burst feature, and whenever it is in that burst feature, it'll show you, and that's where you want to do as much damage as you can. They said that they wanted to stress this, that way players, again, who are maybe not doing as much damage, all you need to focus on is just attacking during this elemental burst feature to fill up that gauge. Now, earlier in the video, I did discuss that we have an extensive party system and teams, and one of the ways that you can utilize that is queuing up for activities. So they did show us on stream one of the activities that you can queue with. Now it's going to be a 6-player party, and the activity was called Broken Tower. And from what we saw, it seems that you can go all the way up from floor 1 to floor 20. They showed us half of it going from floor 1 to 10, and it seemed like at the 10 mark it got pretty difficult because they had a lot of people going down. And within the fight, we were able to see the element stack feature as well. You can see the bar under the enemies, and it seemed like they gave us a lot of gameplay also for the Keen Strider, really showing how the support of that class works. And it seems like it is pretty imperative that you put a Keen Strider on your team, because a lot of these enemies hit very difficult, and it didn't seem like the other classes really had a way to heal themselves. So I'm going to be definitely using the Keen Strider because Yeah, I'm gonna need to be able to keep my people alive. And I didn't see a lot of taunting going on. Now, of course, these are the devs just trying out the game, so they weren't like doing like, the most with like the combat. I did see some of them dodging, but every now and then they kind of stood still. But that's kind of the things I'm looking for is like, yo, is there a tank who can taunt these enemies? We can utilize the AoE. We have the Keen Shredder to do the heals. These are what makes an MMO great, is having to utilize everybody's abilities to the best way that you can for the team, because it honestly seemed like they were just kind of smacking the enemies around, and maybe they weren't like trying to show how all of the classes work together like that. But that is what I'm wanting to basically make content of showing, is letting people show like not only how you can be great yourself, but also be great as a team. Because what's the point of having this great party feature, right, if you're not going to actually fight as a party? So I'm hoping that the Blade Warden has a really nice taunt feature that you can use, because there was a lot of enemies here, and I feel like if they were gathered up a lot easier, they would have been able to clear this. But again, that's like in-game MMO talk. So hopefully we'll be able to get into the network test and see how this works. Because honestly, it looked exciting. It looked really great, especially the fact that you can climb a tower with friends. It seemed like pretty extensive content. They said that the floor that they did from 1 to 10 took about 10 minutes. So I'm guessing the activity takes maybe 20 to 30 minutes to complete, which is honestly pretty nice. Alright, so lastly, I'm going to talk about the free-to-play and pay-to-win features, the monetization that they have in the game. So the game is free-to-play. I do want to stress that. The game is free to play. But there are different ways that they will earn money with the game, of course, because if a game is free-to-play, how will they earn money, right? So they said that they have different things in the game, like a season pass and a Regna store that has a premium currency for rose orbs. They did say that there is a gacha system in the game, not exactly how that's going to work. Maybe it's for fashion, costumes, different things like that, because there's tickets that you can earn with it. The costumes are going to be cosmetic only. You can buy stamps, flavor items, and the season pass is going to also contain a lot of different rewards, but you can get like extra mount speed, you get items that will increase the success rate of crafting, and tickets to reuse the equip plugs, sparing you extra time with crafting, and etc. Right? They also had a feature for missions where they said for people who are not working, don't have a lot of time, and they have that FOMO, they can pay to get the additional rewards for missions. And then also with the season pass, it's going to last from 50 to 60 days. There's going to be two different versions, of course, the free version and the paid version. The free version is going to go up to rank 60, and the paid version is going to go up to rank 100. So, of course, if you pay for it, you'll get more rewards. If you don't, you'll still be able to get high, but you won't get the same amount. They didn't discuss the price of it, but the season pass will contain like costumes, it'll have gestures, weapon skins, a lot of cosmetic items in the game. Now, they did want to stress that as a free-to-play, you can earn a lot of this. So even if you are free-to-play and you don't want to put money in the game, you can earn a lot of this. A lot of things are earned. But what we don't know is how much you can earn and how much you can pay to pretty much advance or get those additional rewards. I'm not going to sit here and bash that because I don't have a lot of info on it. Now, I know in the global market, a lot of people don't necessarily like features where you can pay to, pay to win, pay to advance, however you say it. A lot of people don't like that. Now, I know in the market where they're first initially releasing, they do, because they don't typically have as much time, and they have that FOMO feel, so they want to feel like they could still be ahead versus somebody who has all day to play, right? So, there's two sides of that coin where people who work, they're like, I don't want to be super behind, but then it's like people who put in the time, they don't want somebody to just hop on and just quickly shoot past them. So I understand both sides, but I know in the global market, they really don't like when people can pay to advance. So, again, guys, regardless of what's going on here with the monetization, I do like the fact that you can earn it, because that helps out, because a lot of people are moving away from the gacha scene and wanting to play this because gachas take a lot of money, and that's why we are really rooting for this game. And the fact that they have AGS as the publisher here for the global market, I do feel that if we are able to voice how we feel about the monetization, they can make that change. That is where having a different publisher can make that change on the monetization if we do not like it. What you need to do is talk to them in the forums. Don't bash them, don't be disrespectful, but talk to them and voice it. And if you have enough people voicing how we feel about the monetization, they can make that change for global. Whereas it might not change in JP, but again, for the larger market and global, we can make that change and bring more people to the game. But guys, again, I'm going to be continuing to make content, and I really did enjoy the live stream. I enjoyed all the content that they showed us and they brought to us. I feel like they do listen to us, so hopefully the monetization, they will listen to us and really understand that we have a lot of concerns on that. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about everything that was going on. We can talk about it. I will reply to all your comments, and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to get more Blue Protocol content to you. And please click the bell, that way you know when I upload. I will be streaming this game most likely on Twitch and YouTube, so make sure that you're following me on all channels. And again, guys, I cannot wait to see you there. Join the Discord if you want to play with me and others that I have in my community. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.